Lindsey here.
And me.
And Jay. We're switching out our kombucha brew today, so I just thought I would go ahead and show you guys what that looks like for us. If you don't know what kombucha is, it is a fermented black tea. It usually creates like a fizzling drink. I like it in place of sodas. If you use grape juice in your second ferment, it tastes just like grape soda to me. So we enjoy it. It's a fermented drink. It's good for your belly, good probiotics, and yeah, this is how we make it.
So easy, a husband can do it.
Mm-hmm. So we're starting out here by brewing our tea. We like a strong tea, so this is it's just a black tea, but we use Irish breakfast tea, and we get that at Natural Grocers because it's super cheap. But we've got a 1/4 cup of tea in here, and we're going to use 3/4 cups of sugar. And just throw some boiling water in that. So just enough so everything dissolves and you get your tea brewing. And we're just going to let this brew for a little while, set it aside. But this is what a finished brew looks like. It has created a new SCOBY on top. Those are scobies. It's a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. And with every new brew, you get a new SCOBY. You don't have to use all of them in there, but we just do because I don't have a SCOBY hotel where I keep them with a bunch of sugar or anything like that. That's what you have to do if you keep them alive. So we originally got our SCOBY at the Shindig last year from VW Family Farm, but I killed it. Over the winter, I wasn't making a whole lot of kombucha. So yeah, it died because I didn't feed it any sugar tea. But we decided to go ahead and grow our own. It's very, very easy to do that. You can create your own SCOBY instead of trying to buy them off the internet or buy a freeze-dried one. At my Natural Grocers, they do have the kits, but they're like $30 for a SCOBY. Instead, you can go over to the ready-to-drink section and grab a bottle of kombucha. You can either get the original, which is what I would suggest, but I didn't have any at my store, so I had to do a blueberry kombucha. It's really whatever they had. It doesn't make it taste any different, in my opinion, when you use a flavored kombucha to start it. But all you do is start out with a jar just like this and put your drink in there in the bottom, and then you're gonna cover it with a piece of cloth and just leave it. Now, my SCOBY formed in like 2 or 3 weeks. It didn't take long at all to form, but you'll definitely see it when it starts to form. I just put it in a dark place and left it alone, and it'll create its own SCOBY. And then once you've got your SCOBY, you can follow this procedure that we're doing right here. Okay, so our black tea is back there brewing, and this is our finished tea. So we're gonna go ahead and start bottling it. These are the bottles that I have. You can order these off of Amazon, and I'll link them below. I kind of wish we had gotten smaller bottles. So as these break or whatever, I'll probably switch them out with some smaller squatty bodies. But these were what were available at my local brew store at the time.
That's no longer there.
Yeah. So we're just gonna uncap this. And he has very clean hands. Are you gonna do it with your hands?
Yeah.
Okay, he's just sanitized his hands with really hot water. And he's just gonna grab our SCOBY out of there. Put it in a bowl that's also been washed. So with our tea that we have left over, we're just gonna stir it up and then grab 1 cup of starter tea out there and put it with our SCOBY, because that's gonna start our next batch. And this is where you'll start if you have brewed your own. You're gonna use all the liquid that's in your starter brew. It'll be the same thing, so this is what you'll be with. We're gonna set that aside and cover it so nothing gets in it, no nasties, and start bottling. This is the juice that we use to bottle. We just like a Concord grape juice, and we're just keeping on with the organic theme. We've got organic kombucha going over here.
Good to go?
Yeah, and we're just putting in 1/3 of a cup of juice into all of our bottles. we're using juice, but you can also use frozen fruit, fresh fruit. So we ran out of juice, so we're gonna try watermelon juice on one of these. But yeah, you just throw in your juice. You can really use any juice or fruit. This is the second ferment, so this is what's going to give it flavor, and it's gonna eat this up, and this is what's gonna make it bubbly too. So now once we get our juice in here, we're just gonna fill these up until they get to the neck of the bottle. That's what we found that's best for us. That's what gets us the most fizz. So we leave a little bit of room and just fill it up to the neck.
It's about 2 cups of this. Is where I found.
But now what we're gonna do is leave these out on the counter for a couple days. If you do have the screw tops, you may come by and burp them just to make sure they don't explode. I have had one explode on me before, but it was when I first started brewing, when we lived in Little Rock, and I had no idea what I was doing. I left them out on the counter for like 5 days. So they got really, really fizzy and then exploded onto the ceiling. Now it didn't hurt anything, it just had kombucha all over the ceiling. I usually leave these out for 3 days on the counter is usually what it takes mine to ferment. Now that'll just depend on how cool it is, how warm it is. So, you know, if you pop it and you hear it go psst, and you see a lot of bubbles, well then throw it in the refrigerator because it's ready to go. Because that's how you know that it has fermented enough, and you can put it in the refrigerator and just drink it when you want to. It usually just takes us a week to take care of 4 to 6 bottles. But I also make kombucha popsicles with my failed kombucha if I have any that don't fizz, or extra because the kids really, really like the kombucha popsicles. So there's an idea. If yours doesn't fizz or you don't like how flat it is, just throw it in a popsicle container and try it that way. These are what our popsicles look like. We got these little reusable, I guess they're kind of like Ziploc bags. They're not made by Ziploc or anything. I grabbed these at Kroger the last time I was there. I think some of you may have a Fred Meyer instead, but they're all connected. That's a nice little summer treat to have. Here's the rebrew. We've just got our brewed tea. He filtered out the leaves just using a little mesh filter. And this is what we were left with, is a really strong, really sweet black tea. Is this a gallon pickle jar?
Yeah.
So this is a 1 gallon pickle jar, and we usually do ours 3/4 full, which is why we did 3/4 of a cup of sugar. If you're gonna do the whole gallon, you're gonna use a whole cup of sugar and a little bit more black tea. We're gonna fill ours with cool water all the way up to about here. We're gonna leave a little bit of room for that starter tea. The whole point of putting this cool stuff and not brewing everything all at one time is because you don't want to put your SCOBY in anything too hot. You don't want to kill your SCOBY. It can be very easily killed. It is bacteria after all, so the heat will kill it. So we like to put in some cool water, cool that tea down, so then it's time for your SCOBY. So we've made sure that our tea is cooled down, and now we're going to add in our SCOBY and our starter tea very gently. Be gentle. Put your starter tea in there. I normally add my starter tea and then stir it and then put my SCOBY in. But that's okay. It doesn't really matter. Just if you do stir it afterward, just be really gentle and gently stir it in there. Hello, Scoby. Alright, that's good. Now we're just going to replace our cloth. I just use a hairband for mine. And that's it. So ours will just go right up here where it's not in direct sunlight and brew for the next week until we're ready to make another batch. But I hope that you guys will try this. Get one at the store. If you don't know if you're gonna like it, don't go through all the brew stuff. But grab one at the store. Sometimes it's an acquired taste. The first time I tried it, I didn't really like it that much, but it grew on me really fast and now I love it. And it's good for your body. Very low sugar alternative to sodas. So go grab one, see if you like it. And if you do, then you can grow your own SCOBY just for that $3 for a kombucha. It's really inexpensive.
It's perpetual.
And it'll, as long as you feed it, it'll stay alive. You can make as much or as little as you want. Just for us, we like to share one of these every day for lunch. So 6 is perfect for us.
This is the one for lunch.
That's the one we're about to have with our lunch right now.
And this is the one that will be popsicles.
And there's our failed one for popsicles. We had one that failed. Sometimes that just happens. It might have been where we placed it in the kitchen. I don't know.
Yeah, or it didn't quite seal very well.
It might be the seals. These are kind of old. They're
Let's see about this
5 years
Let's
old.
see if this one pops.
Let's see.
Ooh.
Woo! That's what you want. Boink.
Pour it out of here.
Oh yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps you in some way. And if you have any questions about kombucha or anything like that, you can ask those in the comments and I'll link some of our supplies that we have
Or you can ask
down
me,
there too.
and I'll make up an answer.
He'll give you a manser. Oh gracious. I can't wait to chat with you in the comments and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.